Well, it looks like it's time to harvest the Three Sisters bed. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today we're going to be harvesting and talking about how Three Sisters bed did. It is the beginning of September, and it is time to harvest the Three Sisters bed. I should have done this weeks ago, but we had over a week of rain, and then I've had a cold, still have a cold for over a week. So I've not been able to get out here. I should have harvested this bed in August because the corn was actually ready. And now it's kind of starting to dry out. But if we still get corn kernels that we can save for next year to use in the garden, that's still a bonus. But I want to show you the back of the bed here and kind of the end results of what happened, if I can get through the beans and the corn. Okay. So you can still see that we have a lot of beans growing, and they've actually pulled over the dried corn. And also, if Donnie can get a good shot below me, there is the melon, but it has not produced anything. We have had a very strange season this year, and there are a lot of plants that haven't produced as well as I would have liked in the garden. And we had high heat, we had wildfires and lots of smoke. So part of the days I actually come out here and water. So the garden got a little bit neglected, but I still think that this was a success. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually be taking off all of the corn. I don't think this one has anything in it, at least it doesn't feel like it. But I know that like this one does. And it is pretty dry. So we may not get any corn we can actually eat. But if you look at this, it's all nice and dried out. And I can save these for seeds next year. So that still works out pretty good. Let's talk about how the beans did. So Landry got in this bed and started destroying the sunflowers. That's why there are no flowers on top. That's why a lot of what's in this bed is broken over, is because he went crazy. He loves sunflowers. So we only got a few beans out of all this because he started breaking them down and started breaking off the top of the corn and started breaking off the top of the sunflowers. So the beans had nowhere to go other than down onto the ground. And I actually don't see any flowers, or here's one, but it's getting pretty late in the season. This is actually now getting into fall, and I think we're gonna have to take the bed down. There's nothing like having a coughing attack while you're trying to film. It's because I'm talking so much, and yeah, not doing the greatest, but I want to get this video out to you guys, and we have to get this bed down. Our water is also going to be turning off here soon, so that's another reason to get this bed down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take all the stalks down to the ground and just cut them off level like I do with a lot of my other plants. But we're going to have to go through here as we're doing this, and we're going to have to take off all of the corn and see if we have any beans, which this one does have a few, but like I said, those aren't going to get to maturity because these beans get really big. I'll show you one when we get to one. And for the melon that we have going through here, I'm going to try to save it and see if there are any little baby melons and maybe give it a chance to grow some melons. But we only have maybe a month to 6 weeks before our season is done. And you know how long it takes to grow melons. So Donnie is going to help me, and we're going to take down this bed, and I will show you the results after. these are the melons that are left. And out of all of this vine that you see in the bed, there is only one tiny melon. And these melons get to be probably about like that big around. So it's not worth it to keep these. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to take them all out. That only took us about half an hour to completely clean out this bed. And here is the harvest that we got of corn. They're definitely smaller ears. And here are the 2 beans that we got. And you can see by how large they are that they really would have needed a lot more time to grow. So that's why we didn't save them. And here are the flowers. They're really pretty. And these were the ones that I grew last year, and I grew them for the red flowers. So what's a success? Kind of. Was a failure? Kind of. It depends on how you look at this. Am I happy with it? Yes, I am very happy with this bed. So let's talk about what I learned from this method. Does it work? Yes, I think under the right conditions. Did I learn that I can grow corn? Yes, definitely. Am I going to grow corn again next year? Yes, but I will probably be changing the variety of corn that we're growing. We have a sweet corn here, and I think I want to try to get some of those seeds because I know they'll grow here. They definitely will. So that is kind of our harvest that we got. And here there's that one corn. And they all pretty much turned out like this. So I can save these and maybe do a mix of these and the other ones next year. The beans, I will not grow that variety again because they take way too long to flower and mature. So I would pick a different variety next year to grow them up. And I also learned that you need to have the corn growing pretty good before you plant the beans. I planted everything all at once and that didn't work out quite as well. Now for the melons that were in this bed, I might actually try a squash plant next year because I found out that they actually needed more sunlight than what they were getting through the corn. Or I need to plant them on the edge and let them start growing over like they were at the back of the bed. That way they get a little bit more sunlight. But I have so many other areas in my garden where I can grow melons and squash that I just may not put them back in here next year. So was this experiment good? I think so. It really taught me a lot. And if you have space where you have a lot of sun and you have quite a bit of room, you can definitely grow this. I think one other change I'd also make next year is no sunflowers because Landry loves them. And when he got in the sunflowers, he started destroying everything else along with it. Also, plant the corn closer together and more of them. They did good as doubles, I noticed, because they kind of gave each other some support. But when it would get really windy, it started knocking some of the taller ones down, and I had to come out here and stake them up. So we still have some more sunflowers in the garden for the bees. And as you saw in the video, these are 2 of our sunflower stakes from last year, and they did really well. So I will be trimming up the other ones, drying them out, and saving them for next year, because they will probably be stakes for something else in the garden. So if you have any questions about this method, just put them in the comments below. Also, have you tried this method before? Let me know some of your tips, because this was only my first year doing the 3 Sisters method. But I definitely want to try it again, because even though the corn wasn't as large as I wanted it, it still turned out really good. And I think if we don't have any fires next year and doesn't get so smoky and quite as hot, and I can get out here to water them more often, that'll probably be a bonus too. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this month by the end of September, because this is our anniversary month, and I have been on YouTube for 2 years now. Can you believe it? I can't. Doesn't feel like that long at all. And we have we're getting closer to 400 videos on the channel now. So there's a lot of information for you guys to go back and check out, and welcome all new subscribers. So thanks again, everyone, and happy gardening.